Go to Tim Wilson. Bridget McKenzie's frustrated with Barnaby Joyce. Are you?
I don't have frustrations with individuals. I focus on policy, Kieran, and what's clear is the government actually has a very clear policy about what it's trying. Sorry?
You're frustrated with the push for a coal-fired power station, as your colleagues
Kieran,
Trent Zimmerman clearly is, Trevor Evans clearly is. Are you?
Kieran, every MP has a responsibility to stand up for their community, express their concerns. Trent Zimmerman has done that, Trevor Evans has done that, I've done that in the press today, and of course others are entitled to do so as well. I think what we need is, and what we have is a clear approach from government about how we're going to tackle the challenge around reducing energy prices, delivering the baseload energy that this country needs, and of course reducing emissions. And that's where our focus should be. All of my colleagues, frankly, should be focused on how we actually have a plan, while we have Labor has a plan to reduce emissions by 45%, but no pathway to get there. And what we're seeing more and more of is it's going to come off the back and the hip pockets of average Aussies who can't afford to, and it's not a sensible, proportionate or balanced approach to managing Australia's energy transition.
What's the argument against a taxpayer-funded new coal-fired power plant in Queensland?
Well, if the market believes that there's a case for doing so, then it will finance it and fund it. But that isn't what the government's job isn't come along and just build things because we decide we like them, particularly if there isn't even a business case that stacks it up. It's people like myself and Trent Zimmerman and Trevor Evans and Jason Falinski and David Sharma, among others, have made it quite clear that we're not supporters of just using taxpayers' money to underwrite new investments because it's convenient.
So you don't even support the underwriting of new coal? Because Angus Taylor has told us on this program just a couple of months ago that he has 10 coal projects on his desk looking, and he's looking at them. They're waiting for this government underwriting. That was a recommendation of the ACCC. Do you not even think taxpayer funds should go towards underwriting, let alone, paying for them holus bolus?
No, but what the ACCC went through is looked at what was necessary to get new investment into the marketplace. And as the Minister has just gone through before, we're taking a technology-neutral approach. There, of course, proposals have been put forward, some of which include mining assets, others which include renewables and solar and all other types. And so what we're looking at is the full spectrum. We're making informed decisions. I mean, that's the basis in which if you want to reduce energy prices, and we're working very directly towards that, you need informed decisions. If you want to deliver the reliable power that we need as a country, you make informed decisions. If you want reducing greenhouse gas emissions, Kieran and Laura, you've got to make informed decisions.
Tim Wilson, it is a compelling argument you make, but the fact is you haven't been able to convince other members of the coalition of the merits of this fact-based approach. I mean, it's hard to disagree with what you're saying, but how come you haven't been able to convince members of the coalition, like those 6 national members that wrote to their leader?
Well, I don't quite know what the basis of their concerns are. I mean, I think what they're beyond their concern about their communities, and I think that's entirely justifiable. I'm concerned about the community I represent. They're concerned about the future of industries, jobs in their communities, and wanting to make sure that there is a future for them. The task and the challenge for this government, and that's why we're taking an evidence-based, fact-based approach, is to look at how we lead the transition of Australia's energy makeup. We know that mineral assets are a part of our past. They're going to be part of our present. They're part of our present economy. They're going to be part of our future economy as well. It's about how we get that balance right, so we can take all of Australia forward together, and we don't leave people behind. And if that's where the focus of those 6 MPs are, I'm sure we can find a way to work. We will find a way to work with them to take Australia forward together.
When you move around your electorate, what are people asking you about the coalition's energy policy? You've been in government for 6 years, and from the reading from the Environment Department, emissions have gone up and so have power prices. What have you actually delivered?
Well, actually, power prices are trending downward. What we have is a great big challenge between the tension of who has the levers and the over energy, which is principally with the states, and of course what our obligation is to work towards reducing our greenhouse gas emissions as part of an international framework, and also working with the states as well. So what we've actually succeeded in doing is trying to get emissions down. We've also been, both per capita as well as overall, we've been seeking to do that while getting new investment into the grid. Now, energy is not a simple space. You don't make decisions and, you know, go off and buy widgets and pull a few levers here or there, and all of a sudden energy prices go up or down or emissions go up or down. You need long-term investments. And what we're actually trying to do is provide the policy stability to actually make sure we get new investment into the grid to reduce prices. And one of the biggest risks to doing that is either a change of government and particularly what is being proposed by the Labor opposition, who have no plan about how they're going to get to their 45% target, apart from to whack massive increases on the hip pockets of Australians.
OK, Tim Wilson, many happy returns as well. Happy birthday. Thanks for that.
Oh, thanks, Kieran.
What a day for it.